Here's what moved markets today.
US officials issued warnings regarding potential exclusion from dollar-based financial systems for entities handling Iranian financial transactions, with the measures reportedly extending to Chinese counterparties. The threatened sanctions represent a significant escalation in the enforcement approach toward Iran-linked financial activity. US spot Bitcoin ETF products recorded $337.6 million in net inflows on Monday, marking a sixth consecutive session of positive flows. The sustained inflow streak follows the recent extraordinary shift in market sentiment observed over the preceding week. Coinbase launched tokenized shares of Apple, Nvidia, Meta, and Alphabet on its Base blockchain network, with the offering available to users outside the United States. The product expansion represents continued development of tokenized equity infrastructure for international markets outside existing US regulatory frameworks. Standard Chartered became the first banking institution to distribute HKDAP, one of two stablecoins licensed under Hong Kong's regulatory framework. The distribution represents continued traditional banking sector engagement with regulated stablecoin infrastructure in the Asia-Pacific region. SpaceX moved forward its timeline for launching Nvidia-powered artificial intelligence satellites to the fourth quarter of 2027. The accelerated schedule reflects continued development of the company's orbital computing infrastructure initiative. Mining company Bitmine disclosed the acquisition of an additional 32,447 ETH, bringing total holdings to approximately 5.85 million tokens. The purchase continues the company's ongoing digital asset treasury accumulation strategy. Looking at this morning's price action as of 9:10 Central European Time, the market shows continued positive asymmetry despite yesterday's exceptional session. Dogwif Hat up 13.28%, Polygon adding 12.05%, and Pudgy Penguins gaining 6.99%, extending its recent strength, with double-digit gains across meme tokens and Layer 2 scaling infrastructure. On the downside, Aave leads decliners at 7.20%, reversing a portion of yesterday's 15.88% gain, with Athena off 4.98% and Eigenlayer declining 3.08%, mid to high single-digit selling concentrated in yesterday's outperformers, consistent with typical profit-taking following an outsized move. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index rises to 83, climbing 5 points from yesterday's 78 and crossing into extreme greed territory for the first time this year. The move extends the rapid sentiment reversal that began with the extreme fear low of 16 on July 2nd, representing a 67-point increase over roughly 7 weeks. The index has now moved through the full spectrum from extreme fear to extreme greed within a single quarter, with the past week's acceleration, from 55 to 78 to 83, marking the fastest sustained climb observed throughout this recovery period. Today's positioning sits well above the 75 threshold, typically associated with extreme greed classification. Readings in this range have historically coincided with periods of pronounced market enthusiasm and elevated risk appetite, conditions that market observers often associate with increased sensitivity to reversals, though the index alone does not indicate whether or when a shift might occur. The rapid, multi-week ascent from extreme fear to extreme greed represents one of the most pronounced sentiment cycles observed this year, with its ultimate durability remaining to be seen through subsequent sessions. That's your daily market update. If you found this useful, give it a like and subscribe for tomorrow's briefing. See you then.